Hello and welcome to another video here with me, Meoni, for Final Fantasy XIV. This time around I wanted to take a look at all of the Eden's Gate normal gear sets for all roles. I put out a few messages over the past couple of days and managed to get people together to film all of the Eden's Gate normal role sets, and there's actually a male and female example for both, as I know that people requested that last time I did a gear preview. The normal mode Eden gear is completely undyeable, however if you got the Savage version it is. This though that I'm looking at today are the normal sets. First on the list then is the Eden's Grace Fending set. Initially this is a beautiful looking white and gold set that is sure to stoke the fire in any tank's eyes when they first see this. It's a wonderful glamour set on its own, and I'm sure the dyeable version will look absolutely insane in a variety of colours, especially Dalamud Red. But that's not to say that the stock colour here on the normal mode isn't nice. In fact, it probably makes this my favourite Eden's Grace set. The small details such as the Sin Eater on the helm, the gold trim on this white plate here, looks absolutely fantastic. I've seen a lot of people use this chest piece with other items to make some truly incredible glamour sets so far, but this set alone as it is has to be one of the cooler tanking gear sets I've seen in such a long time, with my favourite previously being the Elemental tanking set from Eureka Hydatos. This is probably going to be second on my list now. Awesome stuff. So now we have Maiming and the Dragoons get some love. This set I wasn't 100% sure on when I first saw this, and I'm not sure I am even now. I think that what irritated me more than anything was that this helmet has this blue wing on one side only, which just angers my OCD in ways I cannot barely describe. There's also for some reason in my mind a real sort of like luchador wrestler thing going on when you look at the front of this helm that unfortunately I cannot unsee. Basically, I think I'd hide the helm if it was me personally and I was running Dragoon. The chest is quite cool. I like the blue fabric mixed with the white fabric here and a touch of plate metal. It's an interesting set with some really cool details across, like the white feather spikes on one side and this rough light collar. It's not terrible, but I don't think too highly of it, and it's probably not my favourite. Perhaps using the chest piece with some other legs, feet and maybe a different helm would look pretty good for another set. Third up is Striking, Monks and Samurai then, so we have a nice black and gold theme going on here with trim. The main part of this chest is actually used later on for a healer outfit, but where this one differs is the golden crest here on the front, and obviously the colour used throughout. The feather headdress is a nice touch, and I generally like this open-armed set. There aren't perhaps as many details that stand out like with the likes of a tanking set, but I think that there are a lot of great elements here, especially with the hands. I love it when we get these big brassy armlets instead of gloves. I could definitely find use for these in many other sets that I would make. I especially love how basic the sandals are with this set, they look pretty cute there. The differences with male and female are non-existent with many of these sets, as you can see here, other than with how the set hangs on that particular model, which looks pretty good on this male Makote, if I say so myself. Aiming then has this brassy gold and black, which is a nice combination. I both like and hate this helm because of that one-sided wing again, like with Dragoons, but this time it's a red wing, so that makes it all better, right? The armour itself is nicely detailed with a lot of revisits from that Maiming set with slight differences. For one, this set has some nice detailed legs that actually fit with the chest piece instead of actually being a different colour, but in many ways this set to me looks more like a Dragoon set than the actual Dragoon set, with the choice of colours and the amount of metal plate shown. I don't think it's too harsh to say that, considering how well armoured this gear set looks in comparison. If you were to actually ask me what this set was, or what role it was for without looking or knowing, I'd probably have guessed Dragoon, to be honest with you, and I would have probably raised a few eyebrows like I did this time around when I first saw it, when it was revealed to be a ranged set. In many ways though, this is great for ranged physical if you want to look quite bulky and have a more metallic gear set. You have to think though, this is quite the leap in a different direction for jobs like Dancer, which will obviously be using this, which up until this point had fairly skimpy outfits designed, which many people had thought aiming might have to endure during this expansion, the same exact way that monks had to endure every next striking set being a kimono or Eastern themed in visuals outfit. Okay, so we're on to scouting. This is a interesting set, let's say. Where to begin, really? This is a completely different leap in a completely extravagant direction in comparison to the other sets we've shown. Short of a leopard skin rug and a 70s lampshade dangling behind this character, this is certainly setting a fashionable tone that I don't think the other sets really share. It really feels like someone let Redolent Rose design the Ninja Eden set, but that's not to say I don't like it. On the contrary, this is actually a really cool looking outfit. I love the almost scholarly style of the pieces, the near flared legs, the wide cuffed sleeves, and this ridiculous headpiece I don't like actually, it's horrible, which is some form of glassless spectacles thing which only adds to that particular fashionista vibe I'm getting from this set. Is this something I would immediately say shouts ninja to me? Well, not particularly, but if you were going the Buccaneer route with the sailor, then maybe. It's just outrageous and you have to give it credit for that at least. There's a small feathered dagger on the back of the waist which is pretty cool. I don't know. I think it's different for sure, and I can imagine people getting the Savage version and dyeing it Calibri pink at this point, which would actually really suit this style, either that or a midnight purple or something. All that's missing then is the top hat and a pimp cane. Okay, on to healing. A lot of people actually hate this outfit, it has to be said, across the forums. I was amazed at that, to be honest, because I wore this outfit for quite some time without glamoring off of it myself. I think most of the confusion comes from people who I am told are not pleased with how they used a robe for a striking set and palette swapped from this healer gear. And I'm not kidding when I tell you one complaint in particular is that why would we want a robe on a striking role? We are not all female characters. To that, I laugh internally quite a lot because I personally thought that the striking set with its robe looked pretty cool, and that it's also not the first time, nor will it be the last, that they do that for striking sets with longer flowing outfits. Besides, they clearly look good on male characters as well. I mean, I don't know, it looks pretty cool to me. But then again, this healing set has its own flack individually for being yet another robe. I can't believe people are still saying this. I don't know, it's one of the nicest robe designs we've seen in ages for a tier set in my opinion. Some of the Stormblood stuff was garbage. I love the pauldrons in particular, reminding me of the gear I used to wear on my priest or paladin from World of Warcraft. The white feathers I think look really cool draped across the chest here, and the gown itself is very angelic, which is what I personally was somewhat hoping for from Eden, to be completely frank with you. It looks great on this male model as well. I never understood the whole only girls wear dresses argument, especially when it's a gown or a robe, even without taking into consideration that it's 2019, not 1819. Have these people never actually watched any fantasy movies with wizards with long gowns in them? Or am I getting to the point where I'm showing my age or something? I don't know. Looking pretty great on both genders. I would love to get the dyeable version and make it black at some point to make a Fallen Angel glamour set. And lastly, let's look at casting. Another set then that got flack on the forums for reuse, this time of the scouting stuff. This set is clearly coloured differently, with the black and gold returning from the earlier sets to match the caster DPS role-in aesthetic. Obviously a recurring theme would be a black coloured outfit. The flamboyant design elements are much less eccentric in this colour, but actually retain some of the same style elements. The glassless spectacle helm thing returns, which I really cannot stand the more I look at it, and this robe actually looks pretty smart, especially to the rear of the character with this gold detailing really jumping out of the black there. Losing the dagger on the waist as you would expect, the fabric on the chest is much more opaque with gold detailing that wasn't there on the scouting set, and in general looks a lot more like a wizard set than I thought it might. It's incredible what a few small detail changes and a palette swap can actually do to gear, and I completely adore this set in particular. Well, everything but the helm. That thing can go and die in a fire. Anyhow, those are my opinions as we looked at all of the Eden's Grace normal sets on each role. What do you personally think? Let me know below how wrong I am, or if you agree with some of the things I said. Hopefully this was helpful to some of you who are trying to actually shop around for these sets, and obviously glamour is the end game beyond stats. Thank you all kindly for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time.